Sometimes people say the quiet part out loud. New York Magazine is out with a new cover story, and here is the cover. Are Republican women okay? That's the actual cover. And don't worry, the article lived up to everything you could possibly dream it would be. With us now, Amber Duke, D.C. editor of The Spectator, Meridith McGraw, national political correspondent for Politico. Meredith, get to the politics in this one minute. Amber, I want to start with you. This is from the piece. On the cusp of an election season that could further reshape this democracy and women's place within it, the questions facing the women of the right are tricky. Are they supposed to be cutthroat or cute, cold enough to kill a dog, or warm enough to bake an apple pie? To whom is their devotion chiefly addressed? God, husband, country, or Trump? Aside from the sort of dripping with antipathy and disdain that exists in the article, are they necessarily wrong?
Yes, I do think that they're wrong. I mean, first of all, this article spends most of its time complaining about the historic misogyny and sexism that women in politics have had to face throughout their careers. People like Hillary Clinton and Sarah Palin constantly having to worry about what they looked like, how they were dressed, and then turns around and does the exact same thing to modern Republican women, complaining that they're too brash, they like guns too much. Sometimes they dress in workout clothes and sometimes they dress in pantsuits, and how all of that is apparently unacceptable because they hold the wrong political beliefs. And conservative women have been dealing with this from the left for a long time. Hillary Clinton infamously said that women who didn't vote for her were probably pressured by their husbands or by their fathers. Michelle Obama said that women who didn't vote for Hillary were silencing their own voice. You had Michelle Wolf at the White House Correspondents' Dinner saying that she hoped Kellyanne Conway ended up under a tree. This is all just attempting to ridicule conservative women for the sake of silencing their voices.
So, Meredith, I think we can all agree that if Joe Biden wins re-election, if Democrats continue to hold the Senate, it's going to be because of the women vote. Democrats think that as well. It worked for them in 22 to run positively on being the voice of women. How does demonizing so many women play into that?
Well, I think this article, this essay, looks at Republican women as a monolith, as they're all the same. They should all be held to the same standards, and that's simply not true. And it really looks at specifically some of the loudest voices in the party who are women, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nancy Mace, and others who, frankly, they don't represent the entire country. They represent their constituents.
I mean, I would even argue among just the names you tossed out there, these are vastly different women in terms of political views and in terms of political style and in terms of personal personality, everything.
Everything. But, you know, women are going to play an important role in this upcoming election, and Democrats are counting on that. Polling has showed that suburban women in particular in these battleground states, they've talked about issues like abortion being a real motivator for them to get out to the polls come November. So we're going to continue to see women, female voters be a focus from both the left and the right as we move forward.
All right, so this is one of the women who was featured in the article is running for Secretary of State in my home state of Missouri. Valentina for Secretary of State is her Twitter account. Take a look at the ad.
The Second Amendment shall not be infringed. I am the most pro-gun candidate in the history of America, and I will never give up my guns. They are the only tool we have to fight back against a tyrannical government. So give me liberty or give me death.
I think that was set to a rap song at the same time. Amber, to be fair, right, at some point, there is a lot of Republican women who play into the stereotype, and it works on social media at times. Why is it that this article was written in the first place, you think?
That's a great question. I think there's probably a motivation for one of trying to warn women who are flirting with the idea of voting Republican, or maybe who already are, this is how we view you. This is how we will denigrate you if you decide to defect and become a traitor to your gender. I mean, conservative women have been hit with accusations of internalized misogyny. And I think, honestly, there's a lot of projection going on here. If we look at the happiness surveys that are published in the New York Times every year, we see that conservative women consistently have a double-digit happiness gap over liberal women. We know that liberal women are more likely to be prescribed antidepressants and anxiety medication. So maybe the real question we should be asking is are liberal women okay?
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.